Welcome to Blue Sky Automotive. This will be the last video in this series, pulling off these heads. Now we're putting them back on. It's a 01 Ford F250 V10. It's crazy windy out right now, so that's why I'm in the van filming the intro. The goal is to put the radiator on, get the transmission lines on, get the exhaust back up. Gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Get the exhaust Y pipe bolted back on, and then crank it. So you don't want it to start right away. You put it in clear flood mode. So gas pedal to the floor, and then crank it. It will not start. You want to just have the engine cycle over about 20 seconds of just that crank. That'll get all the oil pumped up and everything real good before it starts and gets a higher RPM. You don't want that dry engine to start up 1500 RPM with it dry. So you'll just do the crank, 200 RPM roughly for about 20. I'll have to check on this. If there's a oil pressure gauge, then you'll just want that oil pressure to go up during the crank. Okay, well, let's get to work. All right, got the radiator hooked up, upper hose, lower hose, and transmission lines. One thing to keep in mind is that this transmission cooler here needs to come up and out before the radiator sets in. I set the radiator in, and then I went to bolt this up and like, oh no. So I took the radiator back out, and the transmission cooler comes up. It, routes from on this side, and then the radiator goes in. So that is pretty much it. Right there, that red cap is from the new power steering pump, so that capped over that. So I believe I can crank it over, and coolant won't go everywhere. All right, got the battery hooked back up. Moment of truth. So gas pedal to the floor, and it does have a gauge. There we go. So let's crank it. If we hear any weird noises, we stop right away. Wait for that oil pressure. Now I'm going to crank it over and let it start for real. Sounds good, oil pressure's up. I don't know why I didn't do it while cranking, but that's okay. Sounds really good. No misfires. I'm gonna shut her down and we can put some coolant in it. We still have the fan and all that still to put back on. All right, the truck is back together. The wind just really messed up filming. I wish I could have filmed everything, but really it's pretty much, the first episode done in reverse. The hard part of everything here was just the bumper. It was really hard to put on. You have to really hold it in place while you're putting those bolts in. Other than that, it all pretty much goes together really nice. Took it on a test drive, runs really good. Didn't overheat, no check engine lights, nothing like that, so we're good. One thing to check for when you fire it up is make sure your injectors are not leaking. So just with a flashlight, poke around the injectors, make sure they have sealed good. Make sure you're not leaking anywhere else, no coolant, no transmission or power steering fluid or anything like that. That's pretty much it for the test drive. You know, make sure check engine light's off the whole time, unless there was a check engine light for something else before, like catalytic converters or whatever else that this did not fix. So for me, the next thing I have is to do the AC and give it a quick oil change. But it's too windy for that to do outside, so probably do the oil change first thing in the morning. All right, this concludes the epic journey of this 2001 F250 head job. Took 3 days, not too bad. But book time was 30 hours. We were kind of getting in there. Well, 24 or 5 plus the helicoil and some other things, but we were pretty much on target, a little over, but not too bad considering our work environment. Not in a shop, but done pretty much in a driveway. So, which makes it great for the DIYer. No special tools, just having a good wrench set, ratcheting wrenches if you have those, some sockets, deep, shallow, some extensions, plier set. You know, that's pretty much the basics. Can get this head job done. I did use an impact. You know, that came in handy a couple of times, especially zipping off bolts. Some of the bigger ones came off really smooth with an impact. So, you know, maybe pick yourself up a little impact if you're going to do this job. You know, what you save in labor, you can invest in all the sweet tools that you may, you may want just to make it faster of a project. Other than that, it was fun. I enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned something. So that's it. Like, subscribe, comment down below. We'll see you on the next one.